All right. So this is squat every day, day 19. This is my first day trying out a new training max. The last video, or maybe I don't know if it was the last video or the one before that, I hit 255, and for some reason I felt confident that that would be my training max. I was pretty dumb thinking that because turns out it's going to be around 235. It's going to be about 20 pounds less. Basically, the idea of a training max is that you find your 80% of whatever your max is and you train that for volume. So today I worked up to 235 and I did that for 5 sets of one. No problems, no tremendous amount of strain. It just felt like a good heavy weight that will help me get stronger. So we'll see if I can do 245 for 5 sets soon enough. Maybe I can do 255. Maybe I'm just bugging right now and I'm just in my head too much. But anyway, today I wanted to talk about something that I think is super important when it comes to personal development, and it's the idea that I don't think you should ask I don't think you should ask advice from people who don't know more than you. You got to be personally aware of like where you are in life, what your experiences have been, what life has taught you, and what you already know. Don't ask advice unless you're 100% sure that someone knows more than you. And I know it's hard to decide who knows more than you or whatever, but look at an easy way for me to do it is to look at people who are doing things that you're not doing, because actions are predicated on thoughts and on knowledge. And so if someone's doing something that's a little bit out of your scope, out of your capabilities at the moment, it's probably because they know something you don't know, and they're doing things that you don't know you're supposed to be doing. So if you're surrounded by people that are doing things that are robotic, or that they're going through the motions, you shouldn't ask those people for advice ever. You should only ask people that you look up to, people that are inspiring to you. Ask them for advice. But at the same time, just realize that life is the best teacher. And I think like I've heard Kobe Bryant say it, but I think Jesus was also the best example of this. Basically, the principle is that when you want to become the best at something, then everything in life becomes your teacher, and everything teaches you a lesson. And so, in the example of Kobe Bryant, he looked up to Michael Jordan and copied everything he did. And people have this connotation, or like people think there's a connotation of like when you copy someone that it's like less valuable, like the copy is not as valuable as the original. And I think that's only the case when the end product and the end result is not as good, or not up to the same standard. But let's say you copy something like to the exact every detail you copy. Technically, it should be of the exact same worth as the original. So I've applied this in my life, and I look at people that I want to emulate. I guess I want to follow their example and do things like they do. If you copy what they do, you can add your own essence to it, your own energy to it, and at the same time, while you're copying, it turns it into a new product. So let's look at Jesus as an example. So it says he teaches in the scriptures a lot of parables, which are just examples or stories that have a symbolic spiritual meaning. And so one time, I remember reading it, he says, "Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow." And if you don't know, Jesus spent 30 years of his life before he came out and started his ministry, before he started proclaiming the gospel to everyone. He spent 30 years as just a normal guy. And when he came out and declared that he was the Messiah, that he was the Son of God, people didn't really believe him. And it's because he spent all this time in preparation. And so I can imagine that him being so adept and so intelligent, I guess, he would have looked at everything in his surroundings, every single aspect of his life, and used it to teach himself a lesson, because he wanted to be able to relate his father's message to everyone in an easy to understand way. So he looks at the lilies of the field, he sees how they grow, and sorry, Siri came out of nowhere and cut off the recording. So basically, Jesus used even the flowers, he used the wind, he used everything in nature like as an example of how God is blessing us and giving us good fortune, giving us energy and will to continue moving forward. I just think it's an example for us as well. You got to look at everything in your surroundings and take it as a sign. Take everything as a sign that the universe is giving you about who you're supposed to become. So anyway, before I get lost rambling, I just wanted to reiterate that if you're lost and you're in a position where you don't know what to do next, don't look at people that are doing the same things as you or people that are not doing as much as you. You should only look at people that are doing more than you, things that you wish you could do, and then try and break their example down and see where is it that they derive this work ethic or this technique. Where could this have possibly come from? Maybe you can't even talk to them. Maybe it's like you're watching them through a screen. You don't have contact with them. I encourage reaching out and messaging. Like if you follow people on social media that aren't like super famous, then there's a chance they might respond to you. But anyway, um, I've learned this lesson because I used to ask everyone, like anyone and everyone, for advice and help, and more than half the time I was disappointed because like I realized that they didn't have the answers I needed, and not only that, like I already had the answers, I just didn't have the courage to move forward with them, with whatever action was required. And so instead of asking for advice, it seemed like I was asking help from everyone, even though like most of the people I was asking had no means of helping me, and it made me come off as somewhat of desperate and needy and everything. It's like, although you should be desperate to fulfill your goals and your purpose, you should understand that not everyone is in the same place as you. Sometimes you're a little bit ahead, sometimes you're a little bit behind, but it's like we're all in the same race. There's always going to be someone that is ahead of you that has learned how to run better than you, have learned how to run more efficiently, how to perform better. And so all you got to do is just ask those people that are ahead of you and be willing to inspire the people that are behind you. So anyway, that's it for me today. That's all I wanted to share. I left the remaining part of the video uncut so you can see kind of like my resting and my setup and everything before I get into the rep. If you've ever wanted to see that, I don't know if that's like important to anyone, but a cool tip I found actually on TikTok is that if you use the photo on your, like the picture on your camera, you can record a video without losing audio capabilities on your headphones. So like I'm listening to music on my AirPods right now, which is something I've always wanted to do while recording. Like I don't want you guys to hear all the music I'm listening to. I just want you to hear my thoughts. And so if you go to the photo thing on your camera, you hold down the red button, slide it to the right, it'll start recording, and it'll let you use your headphones at the same time. So I thought that was pretty cool. If that's helpful to anyone like listening, that's a good way to record while you're also just doing your own thing, because sometimes when the music is playing out loud, it kind of distracts me and whatever. So yeah. I'm just going to stop talking now. I'm going to let the rest of the video go if you want to watch it. If not, just keep watching my videos. This is Squat Every Day, Day 19. I'll be back for more. See you guys later.
Pero te felicito, qué chévere, feliz cumpleaños. Y bueno, este mes de marzo se fue ya rapidísimo.